Welcome to the Maria Liberati Show, where food meets art, travel, and life. This week, my special guest is Dean Simone from the film Game Day. And I also do have some other cast members from Game Day also, so you'll want to stay tuned for that interview. It's a really fun interview, looks like a great film, and you can also check it out. The film, you can check it out online, and you'll hear more about it in this fun interview. And I will also be sharing an excerpt from my latest book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Diaries, Seasons. And this is an excerpt from an October 24th that I was in Italy. And I shared a recipe for a chocolate pumpkin torta. It's kind of a Halloween themed, since yesterday was Halloween. However, it's a great recipe for Thanksgiving and the holidays and just pumpkin season. Makes a great recipe. So stay with me. And as promised, here is an excerpt from my latest book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Diaries, Seasons. It's an excerpt from an October 24th that I was in Italy. And since we just celebrated Halloween yesterday, this is titled Halloween in Italy and a Chocolate Pumpkin Cake. So if you stay tuned, I will be giving that recipe for a chocolate pumpkin cake. I love holidays that offer an excuse to create a dessert for the occasion, and Halloween is one of them. Pumpkin's a delicious seasonal ingredient that's also good for you. I'm pairing it with dark chocolate. The dessert is fun to eat and healthy. What a great combination. If you're not trick-or-treating but find yourself in Italy for Halloween, you can visit one of these castles for a ghostly experience. There's Castello de Bardi in Parma, and that is said to be haunted. You can also get some of the best Parmigiano Reggiano nearby. Then there's also Villa Palagonia in Sicily, where the ghost of Prince Ferdinando Francesco has been heard, as well as Cartiera Papale in Ascoli Piceno, which is in Le Marche, the Le Marche region of Italy. And that's where spirits have been sighted, in Cartiera Papale. And here's my recipe for a Halloween pumpkin chocolate torta. 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 8 ounces of cooked mashed pumpkin, or half of a 16-ounce can of pumpkin, half a cup of granulated sugar. Of course, you can always use a substitute if you want to, stevia, monk fruit. 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature, 1 tablespoon of butter for the icing, 3 eggs, a 1/3 cup of whole almonds, 8 ounces of dark baking chocolate, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a pinch of salt. Place the almonds and 1 tablespoon of sugar into the food processor, chop finely and set that aside. Place the butter in a bowl and add in remaining sugar. And that's the 4 tablespoons of butter you're going to put in a bowl and add in the remaining sugar. Then blend with a wooden spoon or spatula until it's creamy. Add the eggs in one at a time and blend with a wire whisk after each addition. Of course, you can also use an electric mixer if you want. Add in mashed pumpkin and blend in with a wire whisk. Add in finely chopped almonds, then blend with the whisk. Sift in the flour and baking soda, and you're going to stir this with a wooden spoon until it's all blended in well. Butter and flour a 10 to 12 inch cake pan, or you can also just line it with parchment paper if you don't want to take the time to butter and flour. Bake for 40 minutes in an oven preheated to 350 degrees. Remove from the oven to cool. Place the chocolate in a double boiler with 1 tablespoon of butter. Melt together and blend with a wire whisk. When the cake has cooled, drizzle the chocolate icing over the cake. Yum. It's really good. Serve. And even though I'm calling it a Halloween pumpkin chocolate torta, it can be used for the holiday season. You know, soon we're in Thanksgiving. It makes a great cake for Thanksgiving also. Enjoy. And don't forget, it's from my latest book, The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Diaries, Seasons. You can get it anywhere books are sold, online.
I have some special Philly guests. They're, Philly's near and dear to my heart. I'm a Philly girl, and it's all today. And actually, it's so pertinent because, hey, the Phillies looks like they're going to be in the World Series. I'm not sure what the Eagles are going to be doing, but I love the title of the film, Game Day. And we have Dean Simone, who is the creator, producer, writer, director of the film too, Dean. Is that correct?
No, Edgar Bravo is the director, and the
Okay.
executive producer is John Paul Rice. I was a co-producer, Val and Pete producers, and I was a co-writer as well. And it is very loosely based on my family, very loosely. Loose.
Yes, so you grew up in Philly, right? You grew up in Philly, is that correct? Yes, I think all of our families, we could definitely do movies on them, right? I've often thought about doing a movie on, we're always saying, make a great movie. It's more entertaining than what you see on TV. So you got it then.
I was the dumb son of a bitch who actually did it.
Yes, exactly. So, and I don't want to forget, so also in Game Day is Val McAdoo and Pete Postiglione. So I guess I'm going to start with Dean and ask him. I know, Dean, tell us a little bit about your background in film. I was reading all your IMDb credits. So tell us a little bit about that first.
Well, just like Pete and Val, we're veterans, and we've done just about every kind of film and television and commercials that you could do. I started, I was on Facts of Life when I was like 19 years old. So that's how long I've been doing it.
Wow.
And yeah, and I've been up and down the food chain my whole life doing it. Like, sometimes I could make a living at it for a few years, and then other times I was waiting tables and coaching high school football, and playing in bands at night, and doing whatever I could to support a family. And I've been pretty blessed over the last probably 11, 12 years. I've been able to make a living at just the acting and the music. So,
that's great.
Writing. And I got a chance to meet these two guys who I love dearly. And we call ourselves the Trips because it was like instant family with these two. So we went to Philly, and I wrote this screenplay with Edgar, and it was love at first sight. Great to be back home. Great to meet these guys, and a labor of love completely.
Wow. So I guess before we get into the film, I want to ask, I know you guys told me how you got involved, but so tell us, how did you get involved in the film? So you didn't all know each other before the film then, right?
No.
Oh, wow. So you just heard about the casting of the film, and then did you guys try out? Is that what happened?
So Val and I own an acting studio in Swarthmore called the Actors Co-op.
Oh, okay.
And one of our students and members was being considered for a part in this movie, Game Day. And he put us down as references for him. So the executive producer, John Paul Rice, and the director, Edgar Michael Bravo, called and talked with us to vet this young kid who turned out to be excellent. He plays Dean's son, Marco, in the film.
Oh, wow.
So in that conversation, which probably lasted about 20 or so minutes, they were telling us about this movie called Game Day about a Philadelphia-based family. And I said, why would you shoot that in Atlanta and not in Philly?
Exactly.
And they were having trouble casting some of the parts.
So,
well, as you know, it's not easy to replicate the beautiful Philly accent.
It's not.
So, that was an issue, as well as some other things. So I ended up coming to our studio and auditioning.
About a week later.
I had already auditioned for one of the parts at that point. And I actually auditioned for two parts. The one for Michelle, which I said, you look like her.
Right.
She was cast. And then for the part of Jamie. And so I was cast as Jamie, and then they came here to cast the rest of it. And from there we said, well, let's try to shoot it here. And it just all worked out. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. So you shot
They
it.
were so responsible for the cast, so much of the cast too. So many of the people came through, Val and Pete, and just want to quick shout out to all of our cast. Shelley, who played my mom, Tony Devon, we lost this year, who played my father. He passed away.
I'm sorry to hear.
Great actor and great guy. Nick McCormick, who played my middle son, Mike Jensen. Who am I forgetting? We always forget
little Mikey.
Little Mikey, but we also always forget Kenneth McGregor, who is
he's amazing,
an amazing actor who we got in it, and we forget Britt
Leone, and Michelle
area.
Marciano. I mean,
and Michelle, who so we were blessed with a stellar cast, and that was in no small part to what Val and Pete did and brought to the table there.
Right. Oh, that's great. That's exciting. So tell us a little bit about this film. As I said, and it's so pertinent game day because the Phillies are winning and the Eagles, I don't know what they're doing, but everybody in Philly is just like on Sundays now all around. I mean, this is for years, and I have such great memories of family, any place, any of the family's homes we'd go to on a Sunday, just sitting around watching the football games, and what else? Eating, of course, but and the arguing, but it's not really, so how much did you get into that? Is that what the film kind of delves into, that those fun Sundays?
Yeah, definitely. I would not I mean, the football and the Dallas Cowboy Eagles game is really just the arena and the backdrop. But really, what it is about is it's a family drama, and it's about reconciling your life with others and understanding, what you really want out of life, to thyself, to thine own self be true. And the theme is that we all come together on this Sunday. Some of us are estranged. Some of us have been avoiding each other. Some of us have decisions to make, and we all come together on this Sunday, and all hell breaks loose. So the game day is the game of, the family game is really, so it's a metaphor. And so we break the movie up into the pregame, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. And so we actually run it juxtaposed to the game, but it really doesn't have a lot to do with football.
Oh, okay. So it's just kind of like the backdrop or something that ties everything together, right? The game ties everything together, which it really, that's the way it kind of was. But what was I going to say? Oh, is it a drama then, or a comedy, or kind of a mix?
Well, being from Philly, you'll probably find some parts comedic, where we all.
I'm sure it would have to be, if it's what I'm thinking of on a Sunday. I would think it may not meant to be, it wasn't meant to be a comedy, but it turns out to be that way. So.
And extremely relatable, especially you being from Philly.
Yes.
Whether you come from a big family or not, if you've had Sunday dinners, then the aunts, the uncles, the neighborhood people, the type of personalities that exist. And, just to kind of follow up with what Dean said, it really, it pits generations kind of against each other in this situation. It's like a pressure cooker, essentially, because a lot of thoughts start to come to the surface. A lot of feelings start to come to the surface. And then what I've kind of always said is each character is fighting for their lives. They're fighting for survival. So they need to make a decision by the end of this fourth quarter, so to speak.
And so there are different generations in there because Dean, who's the main character, Zach, lives with his wife, Jamie, and I play the wife. We have a son together, but he was married before. So he has two sons from a previous marriage. Michelle, so these sons are grown, right? But Jamie sort of raised them. So Michelle also comes for game day because it's also the oldest son's birthday. So that's also occurring. So it's not only like the grandparents, Zach's parents who live under the same roof, right? But then also it's, his new wife and younger child, the older sons coming over, and the ex-wife, which you'll see what goes down there. There gets to be definitely confrontation between those two.
Yes.
So there's so many kind of different dynamics occurring, and that's really like in this day and age, especially what happens a lot of the times,
definitely.
So it was kind of interesting, all the different dynamics between these characters.
Yeah, that sounds really, really interesting. So here's an important question. Is it gravy or sauce? And how do we make our gravy in Philly?
It's gravy. Come on, man.
If you're Italian, it's gravy.
It's gravy, definitely. So any recipes? You guys are all, Belle, are you Italian too?
I am, yeah.
There you go. So any good recipes you can share? Does the movie have any like mention of food, or is there any food in the
There is constant mention of food in the
I was gonna
like
say
from beginning to end. PNS raviolis, Pat steaks.
Oh my gosh.
I got a Pat steak shirt on in the first part of the movie. We got hoagies, shirts, and shout out to those companies who really they supported and backed the movie. So
Johnny Paisanos too.
Johnny Paisanos.
Johnny Paisano was in it, which was really fun. Yeah, he was in, and Coco's Pizza totally hooked us up during our premiere too. So we had a lot of nice friends helping us out.
So did you do a premiere in Philly also?
We did
a premiere here, which would definitely make sense. Oh, that's exciting. So
and my wife had come to Philly during the filming, and then again over the summer we had business to do there with the film, and then again for the premiere. And I got to tell you, she had never been there. She's a California.
Oh wow!
Absolutely is in love with Philadelphia. In fact, we absolutely want to be there for part of the year, and that's the goal, is to be there and be making films with these guys, and and be living there for part of the year. But man, she just fell in love with it and the food. And my 15-year-old had only had cheesesteaks that you get, at the mall.
Oh yeah.
So we got him a Pat steak, and I mean, he was just like, oh my God. It's just like, oh my God.
That's the one thing I really do miss the food in Philly. We are really blessed with great food in this area. Yeah. People don't realize it until you travel around, other than like if I'm in certain parts of Europe, like in Italy. Okay. But there's still some things I miss when I'm in Italy that you just can't find. And so, people don't realize we're really blessed. We're in a great food area too. So, but any projects coming up that you can tell us about? It sounds like you're going to be making some more films.
Yeah, we're in pre-production of doing a film that we have coming up called Sam's Hidden Pieces, and we're looking to film that next year. So me, Val, and Pete are working on that and getting those pieces together. I'm doing a lot of acting work out here. I just got cast in an Adam McKay television show, which I can't say what it is because they got the NDA stuff going on. But
yes,
and acting away. And these guys are acting, and they got a new show out called The Seven, which I can tell you about. And
So tell us, what's this show? Dean just mentioned The Seven. Can you talk about it?
Well, The Seven. So we have classes here at the Actors Co-op, and this was actually a project that we did with our teenage students, and it's called The Seven.
Yes.
And we made it into a feature film. It's actually going to be in a film festival this weekend, the Reading Film Festival. But it's really unbelievable the way everybody came together to make this film. I mean, we literally had no budget. We had these teenagers. We had a writer. Who came in, Catherine Mackey, who is a fantastic writer, Bill Mackey, her husband helped us, Rob Kakagna is the director of photography. He did all these special effects and everything. He's amazing. So talented.
Yeah.
So talented. Mark Klein. So we had all these people come together to make this film, and it really turned out like something spectacular. We're very excited.
So where can people see that right now? Is it like touring film festivals?
Yeah. So I would say probably within like 6 months to a year, we'll release it so that people can see it. Yeah. So right now we're kind of going through the film festival thing, but that would be out in about, 6 months to a year. And then we have Ageless Love coming out, which will be in February, which is a love story, based on a true love story.
That's so exciting to hear all this stuff going on in Philly. That's great. I love it. I love to hear that.
And as far as game day too, we want everybody to know, which I
Yes.
just found out. I don't even know if Val and Pete know this yet, but we are. They do know that we are on Tubi and Plex,
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazon Prime, as well as Vimeo. And I do believe now I can say it, or we're close to it happening, but we're also on Apple Plus.
Oh,
No,
nice.
okay.
So
Oh, that is
Good.
nice.
yeah,
And you were
so,
kind of waiting. That's awesome.
yeah. So we're getting
You.
yo good. So we're getting the we're getting the flavor out there.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
So
yeah.
how about that? Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I just want to say again regarding the situation with the movie and it being about sports, and we just want everyone to know it's really a film for everybody, whether you're into sports or you're not into sports or whatever it is that you're about.
Yes.
The film is really about family and being true to yourself and coming together and man trying to navigate this thing called life. It's not always easy. So we really think that, yes, there is a great deal of humor in it. I think we're all quite willing to laugh at ourselves. And we
You have to. If you can't laugh at yourself, you only cry. So it's either laugh or cry. Hey, laugh.
You're laughing at us anyway. You might as well have a good time.
Exactly. That's great. That's great. So
and if you come from just really quickly, if you come from any sort of dysfunctional family, not that most people do, but I would say a good percentage of some sort of dysfunction in their family of origin.
Yes.
They'll totally relate.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, completely relate. So
exactly. So Dean, tell us now, where can everybody find the film? Oh, you just told us YouTube, or I'm sorry, I guess YouTube also.
Tubi, Plex, Amazon, Apple TV or Apple Plus, I understand now, or that's just about ready to happen, but it'll be an exclusive, right? So that's but yeah, I think that's going down too. Which I just found out, guys. Yeah, so it's definitely getting out there, and we really want people to see it. As is the case, and Val and Pete can attest to this. Indie films, we do not have huge budgets, the marketing situation is definitely ground roots, and I can't begin to tell you how much we appreciate you and folks like you that have been graciously had us on their show and let us talk about our film. And it's a grassroots labor of love, and we really want folks to go see it. We really think that you'll like it and connect with it.
Yeah, well, we're definitely going to share this on social media, on my website, as much as we can, and hopefully you guys will share also, well, and get people to share it, because I love promoting indie film productions. I think it's so important, because that's where you get the really interesting films. I think more so. I love indie films. So
Maria, you should be in indie films. You got the look.
I have been. I actually was in films before, and they are, in fact, I'm going to talk to you guys before we're done. They made a script of my last book, and we're looking to do a film seriously in the Philly area. So this is perfect timing for me to talk to you guys.
There you go.
My story. So, but yeah, I did. I was in Philly. I did do film and commercial before I did modeling. So for quite some time. But yeah, if you ever need anyone with this Philly accent, definitely.
You're always looking.
Get me.
What Philly accent, Maria? I don't hear any Philly accent.
Yes.
Some water here. What do I know? I don't know.
Exactly. Yes. But yes, so we're gonna share this, and yes, please definitely support indie films. And we're going to share this, and everybody else, you can definitely share the film on your social media accounts too. So
thank you, Maria.
Thank you guys for being here, and much success, and keep us posted on your next project also.
Will do. Thank you. Blessing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Maria Liberati Show, and thanks for joining us today. And special thanks to my producer, Britton Roselle, and my special guest, Dean Simone, and the cast of some of the cast from Game Day. And as always, you can find my latest book and the recipe that I share today, the Chocolate Pumpkin Torta. You can find that recipe. My latest book is The Basic Art of Italian Cooking, Diaries, Seasons, and you can find that anywhere books are sold online. And also, you can find any of my books from the award-winning The Basic Art of Italian Cookbook series on Amazon or anywhere books are sold. And if you happen to be in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area on November 11th and 12th, please join me. I will be doing a book signing there at the Lancaster Convention Center or the Lancaster Marriott. It's the Lancaster Taste, Food, and Wine event. So please join me. Lots of other celebrity chefs will be there also. Lots of great food, great wine. It's just a really fun event. So, and also I will be doing a book signing there and sampling some recipes for my book. So please come out and say hi. And you can also find me on Facebook at Chef Maria Liberati, on Instagram at Maria Liberati, on Twitter at Maria Liberati. You can find me on LinkedIn at M for Maria, that's M Liberati. You can also find me on Pinterest as Maria Liberati, my YouTube channel, the Maria Liberati channel, the Basic Art of Radio station on Zeno Media, and let's see, my Roku channel, the Basic Art of Italian Cooking by Maria Liberati. And as always, if you create that recipe that I share today, hashtag the photo, share a photo, hashtag it, share it on social media, and we'll try to pick it up and share it on the marialiberatishow.com website for this podcast at some point. So please share, and I'd love to see your creations of the recipe. And as always, too, if you have any guests that would like to be on the show or any topics you'd like us to cover, please feel free to, you can either message us on the website, themarialiberatishow.com, or info@marialiberati.com. And until next week, peace, love, and pasta.